Hello everyone, hello Nuno, hello Fernando. Welcome back to the Azureta channel.
Hi, George.
Hi, Jorge. Hi, Nuno.
Yeah, great to have you guys here. Nuno, it's all about DockerCon this week,
Yeah,
and you haven't much sleep on these days. I have the Docker
so
shirt here to
nice. I like
celebrate.
that. I like that. I'm already on my next stuff. Actually, I will be speaking at Cloud Native party next Tuesday. So I'm running like the KubeCon shirts, but Docker shirts are great, my friend.
Okay, that's great. Go ahead and share your environment. Let's see what you have for us today.
Yes, let's do it. So let me share. Let me find what I want to share. Here we go. Okay. Are you seeing my beautiful screen, DockerCon Live 2020?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good, I like that. So let me just move you somewhere that's okay, like that even. All right, so like you said, I didn't get much sleep, so sorry if I will be speaking a little bit more slow or let's say putting some French words or Portuguese words. That's when I'm tired. But anyway, so just before DockerCon, we had the great build, of course, and during build, one of the main, I would say, for us terminal-centric people, one of the main announcements was that they finally are building in an application manager called WinGet. So before DockerCon, I actually did a video very fast without any feedback, no nothing. So let's go us together. And whenever you have questions, just feel free and like that, we'll do it. The video before DockerCon that I did took like 6 minutes, so we good even with questions, right? So
Okay.
let's go. So the first thing is like if you search for just WinGet, you will get Jennifer WinGet, which is not what we want. And around, let's say the third link, we have like these docsmicrosoft.com. Okay, and here it will say like, okay, here is how you can get the WinGet tool. They will have a lot of gets here, but anyway, how you can download and install the WinGet tool today on your Windows 10, 2004 for sure, maybe even before someone can test it. And if you read here the install part, you will have these. Okay, the WinGet tool is included in flight preview, so that's why version of the app installer. If you click on it, then we will get to this page here. Okay, as you can see, it's free, no problem. And then I will just click get.
Okay, so the WinGet is the app installer on the star.
It's inside the app installer, yes.
Oh, right.
So the app installer, don't know much about it actually, but it seems like to have a series of other tools, and they let's say imported like WinGet inside it or installed WinGet inside it. So anyway, so WinGet will just be part of this package. As you can see, it was already installed here. I just did it before. So once you have that, okay, as you can see, the app installer, sorry, all right, it's this one. The app installer has no launch button, right? Because it's a series of tools, so something that you don't find. So to have access to WinGet, so if I can go back, then it says like, okay, run your terminal, command prompt, whatever. So we will be running the terminal, but please just note something. You need to run it as administrator, actually. Okay, so to do that, when I let's say click right on my icon that I have here, I don't have it. Okay, so you can do is like press Control Shift at the same time, and then click the icon. You will be You don't see here because I changed my my terminal for now, but normally here it would say like administrative PowerShell instead of just PowerShell. Okay, that's how you know that you are in administrator mode. Other else, you can like press the Windows key, come to the Windows menu, right? Start typing terminal, for example, and here you can run as administrator too. Okay, I like the combo Control-Shift-Click because it's faster, of course. All right, once you are here, well, if I just run WinGet, let me just put it here and let me do that. All right, so can you see it, or do you want me to remove the... Actually, you know what? I won't remove it, but I will just Control, comma. It's the settings of PowerShell. And here, instead of dot, I will put a .1, almost invisible. Save it. Okay, better. All right. So if I just run WinGet now, sorry, I would have to resume again. Oops, not the dots. All right. So here are the commands. So first of all, not so much. There's the install portion, of course. There's a show source to say what your source is. There's the search, of course, that's important. And then there's the hash and the validate of the manifest files. Maybe in the future episode, why not? We might have to create our own, let's say, bundle. It's YAML based. For the ones who know it, yet another markup language. YAML is the language from, I don't know, like Kubernetes and Elm, I think also. So it's, yeah.
YAML is the language for configurations and settings anywhere today.
Okay, see, that's exactly it. So the thing is like here, we don't have, let's say, much to do, but that's great at the same time, because like that it's we don't have to, let's say, think too much. So the ones that we will use today will be search and install, of course, and we might maybe use show just to see what it describes behind. Okay, so the goal right now, if I just do a Docker, I don't have it on my system, on this current system. Okay, so let's see if WinGet actually has it. Every time that I'm refreshing, remember from past episode, that I'm refreshing the screen, I'm pressing Control L, and that's why I can clean the screen without typing all the time clear. So just another. So here, if I do a search, and you know me, I like to do the -- help behind. It says like, okay, here is the WinGet search. Then we can query, like we can add some how do you say, just a small word. You don't have like how do you say, a wildcard. You will see what I mean, but we can do like a small query here just to find a specific app, and it will be nice. And then we have the different options if you want to once you know exactly what you want, and again you will see what I mean here. You might want to get very verbose if you are running your own scripts. Okay, so here the thing that is not maybe explicit, but for ones running the terminal might know, whenever you have like these square brackets, it means that it's optional, right? It's not a mandatory setting that you need to run every time. So it means that both queries and options, right? They don't need, and there's a typo here. Oh, no, it's okay. But anyway, both query and options, you don't need to run them, okay? So what does it mean if I just run WinGet search? Press enter, and this will check the repository, the remote official repository by Microsoft. And here we go. So the search, actually, when you just do search, is it will search everything. Okay, as you can see, I'm see the elevator here is getting tinier and tinier. Actually, there's more and more package coming out. I think even every day. So we have 7-zip that we know. We have what, like 1Password here. iTunes, really? Okay, anyway. So okay, we have things, and even for the gamers, we have like this CPU-Z and a hardware monitor that we use a lot to check our hardwares. And okay, so we have plenty. It's not sorted, as you can see. It's not sorted by name or whatever. So the thing here, what I was saying before, is like if I now run winget search Docker, just like that, I press enter, and you can see that, okay, the name is Docker desktop, the ID, the unique ID, or we don't know, I will show you another one that is a bit more complicated. It's docker.desktop, and then the version of the application. So Docker, this is the latest stable, okay, 2.3.0.2. Now the ID, what I was saying, if I do the same, funny, for our friend PowerShell, because you can install actually PowerShell through WinGet. Oh no, okay, they fixed it. Okay, good. But now you have the PowerShell preview and you have the PowerShell normal. Okay, and I think there was PowerShell core at some point in time. What happened to him? Anyway, good.
Yes,
Just
good.
stop me anytime. I mean, I like to do monologues, but I prefer dialogues right now. Anyway.
All right, let's install something and see it working.
Yeah. So the goal was still to do the so winget search again. Sorry, Docker. Let's do the same, but this time let's do the show. And I'm not sure it will go. Oh yeah, it will go. All right. So it found just one, the Docker desktop, and now here is what it will tell you. So the version, the publisher, the description, of course, what is the main home page, the license, and then the installer with the SHA also. And that is really important because, as you can see, it will like check the SHA or the hash, right, of this Docker desktop installer that is downloaded by download.docker, and then it will also check it once it's installed on your machine. All right, so let's do it. Let's do winget install.
All right. So this show is basically like the yum file. It's showing.
Yeah, exactly. It will show your exactly the results of the YAML file indeed. So the package, all right, the package of Docker. That's what it did display. So now instead of like I said, just a second. I know I will do it a lot, but search Docker again. Whenever you know exactly what you want, the good thing is like you can install it by the name, by the ID. So here, if I do winget install and then just this, it's the ID. So it's the most, let's say, secure way of installing it when you are doing maybe a script or something like that. Be over verbose, right? So PowerShell, like
exactly the package you want.
Exactly. So I will just press Control L again. And as you can see, it doesn't delete my commands. And now let's install Docker Desktop. So remember, I just did a Docker just before. You could see that it was an error. Here we can see now, okay, so that's the winget, let's say, portion of it. And then the disclaimer. Yes?
Yeah, I put a link there on the chat window if you can open your browser later. But it's more like all these packages, all these installers are on GitHub. You can even collaborate and create your own, package. And
right.
you can, yeah, let's go ahead and finish this one.
Yeah. So here, okay, they told me that they fixed it, but anyway, I guess it's still ongoing. So here it will say like, okay, the installer hash is failed, but it's fixed, right? like I said during the video, it's like you can really trust it. It comes from docker.com. You can see it here, literally. So, okay, I will go ahead, press yes. And while it will be installing, so here it will run the installer, the normal installer that we know of. Okay, so let's do some. Oh, it was Windows Plus, right? I think. All right. Oops. All right. So here you can see. Oops. Okay. So that's a special for Scott and Solman. So you better look at this video. So here it's the normal installer that we know from Docker Desktop, right? So you can see that I followed the videos that you did, Fernando. So the WSL2 is installed before, right? So I can install finally the Docker Desktop on, remember, this box, which are not remember, but this box is a Windows 10 Home 2004, okay, like stable, the production one. So let's do okay, and
This is the Windows Online. While we were talking, I found on that GitHub repository, there is the YAM file from this installation. What I reckon it's wrong is this SDA256. There should be wrong here in these YAM files, right? I'm right?
I suppose so. So I never did, let's say, yet bundle myself. So, but I guess the when you do the SHA against the Docker desktop installer from Docker, I guess you're totally right. Is like the SHA on the YAML file might be wrong. So it means the Docker desktop installer.exe on Docker.com has changed and has, of course, another hash right now. So
oh, good. So just send a pull request fixing it. I'll check out it later.
Yeah, there's just one thing I want to comment there, and I think a lot of people commenting about WinGet, the last few days after build. One thing is there is no way to uninstall anything yet, and it's a preview. Okay, it's just the beginning of a package management. Don't get it sound like finished product. And we have to talk more with product team and to understand, what's the roadmap. There is no uninstall, and there is no source like Linux. In Linux, you can have different source. Means that you could have like a private source, or some source that you just trust.
Be careful. Yes and no, because there's no by default, but when I run WinGet, you have here.
Okay.
So you can set your source. I never went there still, so maybe for another video. But you can say, okay, I want to source. Most likely, it will be maybe your own package. So the source will be like localhost or something like that. So I don't know how you set a different source right now. Actually, we could do something like that, and it will maybe tell us. Add lists. Okay, so
that's
if
good.
I do.
That means that you can add some source. That's the first thing people are discussing. Okay, that's a good one.
All right. So other points just before I continue, it's okay. So what are maybe other points that WinGet is not? I mean, you're totally right on one point. It just came out, right? By far, if you look at Chocolatey, I don't think I installed it here, but if you look at Chocolatey, the repo is like crazy, and it's managed, right? So you have a real repo of like hundreds, if not thousand, applications that you can install. Second, what I complain, and Jorge, you may be the best guy that I can tell, is like WinGet is Windows, how do you say, Universal App, right? UWP, I think it's called. And it means that it doesn't work on Windows Server Core. So when you have a CLI based, I was expecting that I could run it on Windows Server Core, not 2019 for with the UI. No, core, because when I'm running some let's say demos, I like to install directly Chocolatey so I can install some things still even on core, right?
Yep.
So core doesn't have normally these how do you say, doesn't have this UI around it, but at least we can still install some stuff. So here I was like, yeah, WinGet, like a CLI based app manager, right? So it was like, okay, apt-get for Windows if you want. So, or Yum for the, or Pacman for the Arch guys. Anyway, so you get me. So here is like, okay, WinGet. So I go to Windows Server Core, and of course, when I go to the page of WinGet, it's just the MSIX bundle. So I'm like, okay, too bad. So I hope that WinGet, George, if you look at me, get WinGet onto Server Core, because it will really be needed. Seriously. So anyway, so
It's a
here,
good feedback. I think it's a good feedback, and I had a few people discussing that. If it's just like a MSIX or Apex wrapper, or is more than that. And I agree. I think something that's going to grow, but let's see how it goes. But source is there is a good thing.
it's fresh, right? So
Yeah.
let's see how it will go. But yeah, anyway. So WinGet, once what is cool is like, okay, you have your installer, the normal installer here, but you have like a not very verbose, but it tells you exactly what it was doing on the log here. Okay. The best part that sometimes I complain about Chocolatey is that you know exactly where it installed stuff. Okay. So here it tells me, okay, it created a shortcut. It created also a shortcut here, but you know where it got installed. Sometimes Chocolatey, but it's not Chocolatey, right? It's more the bundle. The bundle doesn't tell you exactly where it was installed, so you have to search. Sometimes it's ctools, sometimes it's your own app data. So it's quite a bit difficult sometimes to find it. But anyway, so here my Docker desktop is now installed. I can click close. You can see that the software has been successfully installed, but still, if I run right now Docker, it will still end up in error, right? So first of all, we will need to actually, now that I have the icon, run Docker. So it will be the first time. We'll see the small whale here going back and forth. It will just take like a few minutes, and what I will do is like, okay, it logged me in, you can see, and then I will just press settings, and voila. So here we can see it's Docker is starting. The moment it starts, what I will do is like I will cancel or I will close the terminal and I will relaunch it, because it needs to go to my path and the terminal needs to be aware. Okay, so Docker has started. Okay, so here, if I go to the settings, you can see on Windows 10 Home, I cannot unchoose it, but it's using the WSL2 based engine. Okay, but you show that during the other video. So here, once again, so just to show you, if I run Docker, it will still complain. Okay, so let me close everything here. Let me Control Shift again. My terminal, and for whatever reason, it doesn't get in the front. Let me zoom it, and now if I do a Docker version, finally it will show that, okay, I'm running Docker, and the daemon is using WSL2 because it's used on Linux AMD. And done. I mean, we have Docker, right? So if I do Docker run -- rm and then -d. No, that's okay. And Nginx, for example,
Docker
small
is
one,
running.
and Docker, okay, and done. Okay, so we install Docker just like that. It means that one thing that I like very much into maybe others, let's say package managers, is like the possibility to install. Sorry, it's not okay. It's container, then container ls. Anyway, so to install maybe bundles. So this machine, my own machine, so I'm running here, as you can see on a VM, which is my Windows Home. But my Windows Pro, I had to reinstall it like 2 days ago, just prior DockerCon, which was a bit stressful for me. But anyway, the thing is like with WinGet, I got around, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, the main apps, okay? So it was like here, as you can see, for example, let's do another one quickly just for the show. I don't have, if I go to downloads, as you can see, I don't have 7-zip, for example. So WinGet install, once you know it, right? I know that 7-zip is just 7-zip. There's no other one. Here you can see the hash was successful and it's already installed. And now, okay, maybe I need to run it to refresh it. But when I will come back, okay, I will have like 7-zip in my menu.
Oh no, I think.
Oh, here we go.
There.
Like for
Yeah.
beautiful, right?
There.
So
I think the message is now Windows start having a package manager, and some stage you're going to have this is going to grow and grow, and it'll be easy to script your environment.
Mhm.
And and I think it's good for the future, and that's just the beginning. And if I can share here my screen that I have these packages already open.
okay,
You guys can see the GitHub.
Yeah.
And if you go on GitHub Microsoft WinGet packages, you can see everything here that's happening. And you can see like 2 days ago, yesterday, there are some things done like a few hours ago, People are really jumping in, and making all the installation packages available here.
Mm.
And I just noticed that Canonical just published mode pass like yesterday. Mode pass here, see that? And when you open, it's like when you do like WinGet show, pretty much shows that.
Oh, multipass, yes.
Multipass, and you can see the installation. Okay, this is silent.
Yeah.
What I mean is you can just go and search. The WinGet CLI is also like open source. So here means that we can follow and see what's going on. They say people are changing the code every day now, yesterday. And that's pretty much that. I think that's the message for this video. And thank you, Nuno, for for being here with us. Let's share more things. Let's keep sharing.
Thank you, Nuno. And this will be very useful to automate the things on Windows now.
So, and again, built-in means that you install and you run it. No running PowerShell scripts. Like Chocolatey even facilitated the whole thing, the whole process, right? I mean, it's a one-liner now that you just copy from the website, but still, imagine for whatever reason that you are in a, I don't know, they close Chocolatey for whatever reason in your company. They don't want any package manager, right? The administrator for whatever reason. Then you cannot run Chocolatey. Then WinGet being built in, it will be Microsoft trusted. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And I mean, again, for the ones using it since, like my friends, I told that to my, let's say, Linux friends, and they were like roasting me like, oh, hey, 20 years later, great, congrats. I'm like, yeah, okay, shut up. But yeah, for us, maybe coming from these backgrounds where packages are more like installed from the console with simple commands, then yeah, I think it's a real game changer.
Will for sure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you next. Bye-bye.